were at least 6 minutes long. And 6 minutes is obviously to do with notions of time passing. So we had to find some way of making a coherence which was relative to, I suppose, people's experience of cinema. I don't know how many of you have actually visited Amsterdam, but you probably know the symbol of Amsterdam is 3 crosses. You know there are thousands and thousands of phallic purple posts all over Amsterdam. You also know it's a great city for homosexuality, so the purple post with 3 crosses on it has a particular enlightened significance. But the 3 crosses for some people also represent the 3 crosses of St. Anthony. You are supposed to pray to St. Anthony in order to protect you, Amsterdammers, from 3 disasters. And in English, there are 3 Fs: fire, flood, and fleas. Amsterdam, for the most part, including my house, is about 2.5 meters below sea level. So it makes sense to pray to St. Anthony to prevent the notion of floods coming into your city, into your street, into your house. Certainly by the year 1620, when the buildings began to be built much more of brick and stone, but prior to that time, most of the buildings were made of wood, so the city was always catching fire. So you pray to St. Anthony to prevent fire. The fleas is a little more difficult, and it's a bit hindsight. You know that the plague is carried by the black rat, by fleas, from probably Middle Europe, North America, North Africa, and certainly from the Middle East. The 17th century, as I'm sure all you historians know, was particularly prevalent for very bad weather. This has always struck me as very strange. When the weather's bad, you get more plague. You would somehow think it would be the other way around. There were extreme bad winters from about 1610 to about 1670. And Amsterdam, along with all the seaport cities, I think, of northwestern Europe, were visited by the plague about every 3 or every 5 years. Rembrandt's 2 mistresses and 3 of his children all died of the plague. So you pray to St. Anthony, please protect us against the flea. They didn't know this, of course, as I say, retrospective. So what we did is we took these 3 ideas of the notions of fire, flood, and the flea and made them part of our narrative. So in a sense, we burnt the night watch, we flooded the night watch, and we covered it in blood. If you go there tomorrow afternoon, you'll find it's unburnt, unflooded, and perfectly healthy. But of course, we did it by trickery, and we did it by light, Rembrandt's own medium. There is another structure, I suppose, in order to take us from A to B, beginning to the end, which is really very, very simple. It's like a day in the life of the night watch painting. I want to tell you more about the context, and I want to be able to use this as a stepping point to what really is fascinating for me, which is much more to do with another painting, which is Da Vinci's The Last Supper. So, but just as a prologue, let's just show you what we did vis-a-vis Rembrandt. I suppose the first great surprise is we gave a painting a soundtrack, and that's something you're not supposed to do. So if it's possible to create as maximum darkness as we can, which means presumably losing these, let me push a button.
meer contact gemaakt met de Egyptische zelf.
In ieder geval degene die niet heeft zo'n 7 centimeter meer dan
Fletsmark heeft gezegd dat hij 1 keer uit het zien is.
deze keer.
Want die gaan zonder veel gezien. Ik wel met z'n echt voor de winkel.
Want anders dan houdt deze oude gemeenschap gewoon met water van waarheid. Dat is gek. Nederland is lang.
Zorg dat we
We had a discussion in the last couple of days about problems of documentation and representation. And you can see that we are in curious ways suffering from those problems. And also, since you're all witnesses and Wolfgang's in the room, I am not coming to Sasfair ever again unless he gets a better projector. The essence here, of course, is we're showing you a facsimile as a DVD, and you can see how lousy the quality is. It's even so much better on my machine and seems to rapidly deteriorate all the way from there, Wolfgang. But I think there's enough evidence there to see what we're about, the manipulation and reorganization of the picture space. Why are we doing this? Well, I do think it's important to be able to read paintings, try and understand the context, try and understand what the painter is doing and what he's trying very hard to tell us. Obviously, this is a Dutch subject. It's about a group of militia who are gathering together, dressed in arcade uniforms, posing, attitudinizing, really making a display of themselves, and of course Rembrandt is helping them to do that, in association with the defense, in this particular case, of Amsterdam. Their particular purpose as bourgeois would-be pretend soldiers is somewhat over, because most of the guerrilla activities of the long 80-year war between Spain and Holland are almost finished by the year this painting was painted, which is 1642.